Today I've come back to Impact Speed Park, about half an hour north of Bangkok, Thailand. And well, we're here at Treffen number 7, Asia's biggest all Porsche meet. I'm going to show you around today and show you Porsches all the way from the beginning all the way to the most current models. Let's go walk around and see what kind of cool stuff we got here. Got a killer row of Porsches over here. The first one is going to be a 356C, probably early to mid 60s. And then next to it, we have an early 911. I would say this is probably about a 71, 72. Loving the roof rack on it. It's got very much a safari look to it. It's not a 72 because a 72 would have an oil filler cap on the fender, and I know because I have actually owned a 1972 Porsche 911S. And then we've got a few more newer Porsches over here. But what I'm really digging is this Porsche Cayenne, kind of done up in a all-wheel drive Safari PD off-road style. This thing would be so much fun to drive around Bangkok. It's got a really cool setup, fog lights, a roof rack, and external gas cans. Definitely has been raised. It's got these oversized off-road tires. Will be a great vehicle for Bangkok and for off-roading. I'm going to start my rendition of This Is My Favorite Car early today, and it's going to be this. This is a Porsche RSR. Should have a 2.8 liter motor, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. I think this is going to be about a 70 or 71. Very few were made, and the difference between the RS and the RSR are the monster rear fender flares and the giant tires. If this thing is real, this car is worth, God, I would say $600, $700, $1 million, quite a bit. But such a stunning design. I love this color. And the Porsche Cayenne crew is well represented here. We've got quite an assortment. A lot of these have been done up in an off-road style. The yellow one over here, I'm absolutely digging this. Such a nice color. Personally, if I was gonna do one of these, I would probably do it like a Rothman's or the PD Dakar livery. But all of these off-road versions that they've set up here, this is such a cool layout. I generally have mixed feelings about the RWB Porsches. The man does amazing work, but I like a little bit more original. I'm probably a bit more of a purist. I completely appreciate these. Some of them I find very beautiful. Some of them are a little bit too much for me. I don't know if you're an RWB fan or not, but I'm going to show you some of these cars because they're definitely masterpieces of art. It takes quite a bit of time. They're not cheap. Really just a very interesting way of doing it. And I've rarely ever seen one of these without bolt-on fender flares. So this right here, this early 911, I'm really surprised to see that it does not have bolt-on flares like most of them do. I would say this is one of my all-time favorites. This is one of the earliest Porsches, the 356. And this is a Speedster. And the reason it's called a Speedster is because it doesn't have side windows and it doesn't really have a retractable top. There is a snap-on top and snap-on side windows. So it's very much just a convertible. A lot of these were fakes and they were built on VW Bug chassis, and I know that because I used to own a replica 356 Speedster, but I'm kind of doubting that this one is a replica. Now the one next to it is definitely a replica because they never made them with these wide fender flares, so this is definitely a fiberglass reproduction and it's still pretty cool, but personally I prefer them without these monster fender flares. The three over here are truly amazing. We've got a GT3 RS in white with red wheels. What a knockout. We got another GT3 RS in this sublime gray color, which I think is just very subdued, and these anodized wheels really pop. But this last one over here, this full function, it is an FF900, and boy, this thing is just absolutely wild. All sorts of vendors here selling all sorts of stuff, but man, check out this green Porsche. This is about an 84, 85 911, and this green, it's kind of like a British racing green or army green. I love green. This color is just so cool. All right, this thing's pretty crazy. This is obviously set up to record cars while moving. Look at this thing. It's a Cayenne that's been made out into a mobile movie rig. How freaking cool is that? Got a nice assortment of Taycans. These are the electric Porsches, the four-door sportsback sedans, whatever you want to call them. I mean, they're cool looking and I appreciate them, but I want my Porsche to have a gas engine. I want to hear the sound of it. Electric cars are fun, but it's too much like driving an iPhone. There's very little emotion and feel in them. What do you guys think? What do you think about electric cars? Do you prefer gas-powered cars or diesel, or do you prefer electric? I'm going to go with internal combustion every single time. Let me know in the comments below what you prefer. All right, it's time for me to start flipping out about my favorite color, green. And this green, oh, I think this is a Macan. Wow, it's just this beautiful, deep, dark green. Again, almost like a British racing green, but Man, it is superb. And these wheels, never seen these wheels before, but they fit this thing so well. I want it. I want all of them. This blue and orange Gulf paint scheme really pops. Really loving this. All right, guys, while you're watching this video, if you can do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up on this video. And if you're not subscribed yet to my channel, why not? Go ahead and subscribe. You can support me that way. I also have now memberships available, so you can support me that way as well if you like. When I first saw this Cayenne parked over here, I thought it was really cool because it's got this total safari package, but they just brought in something even cooler, and that is this Safari 911 up on this trailer. It just drove in about 10 minutes ago. It got parked up here. What a magnificent piece this thing is, man. I love the colors on it, super bright. It's got a really nice cage. White wheels pop well. The engine looks like it's fully built out. And, well, this would be the way to go rallying as a privateer. This whole circle of Porsches here, they're all just covered in dirt. It looks like all of these guys drove down here from quite a ways out. They're definitely all from Thailand, not sure what region, but these guys drove quite a way to get here because each of these cars is covered in dirt, and I love it. This is what you should be doing with your car. Driving it, not storing it in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled garage and never taking it out. This is a vast sea of Porsches, and we're in the middle of winter, and I'm sweating like crazy. It's got to be like 85, 90 degrees out Fahrenheit. No idea what converts to in Celsius, probably 3,284. But man, this right here, this is an interesting color. I don't know if this is a paint to match color, but it's a green external color and a green interior color, almost like an emerald green. Not really sure I'm crazy about this green interior, but it's definitely very much a late 80s, early 90s look. Very time appropriate. And in about 2 minutes, there's gonna be a heist. It's gonna be me taking all of this man's 7-Eleven water. Spectacular 930 turbo over here, late 70s, early 80s. Again, I'm not an expert on Porsches either, but absolutely love them. And this is the color to get, this silver. This is the color I would get my early 911 turbo or 930 turbo for sure. Another 911 RS over here, this time in blue. And again, I'm not really sure if these are replicas or not, really hard to say, but I don't care. Love this look. The whole wide body stance and the ducktail in the back is just a very classic representation of the early mid-70s Porsche race cars. Dreaming in colors is one of the mottos of this show, and the full color palette is definitely well represented here. There is at least 15 cars lined up here, all different Porsches obviously, and each has a magnificent bright color. I wish you could see these in person. They are just so stupendous. It's something that is really kind of just like a giant rainbow. Yeah, this whole row of all of these different colors of Porsches, it's just so cool. I'm really loving this. I want this one and that one and that one. But there's actually one back there that I really like. Let me take you back and show it to you. Again, I'm a big sucker for green, and this early 911, I believe this is a S possibly, and this mustard yellow 912 that's next to it. Now the 912 was the 4-cylinder Porsche. It was the economy model, whereas the 911s had 6-cylinder engines. Well, it looks like the Caltex mascot is at it again. Hey buddy, these guys are really funny to watch out here. Okay, I hear the Gymkhana is starting, so let's go and check out some of the timed runs over here. The sun is finally going down, and yes, the announcer is screaming as always. We've got to check this out. We've got an early Porsche 924. This is late 70s, early 80s, but I've never seen this Le Mans model before. These were 4 cylinders, and this really helped save Porsche at a time when they were struggling. The owner said I could open the car and take a look. Thank you so much. The owner just told me this, in fact, is a 1980. And he's owned it for quite a while. It's a UK special car. This interior is magnificent. And right next to this 924, we have one of the last iterations of that body style, and this would be the Porsche 968. This is the Club Sport model. I believe these came out right around 1992, 93, and as you can see now, it has regular round headlights, no more pop-up headlights, and a different front end. The body is pretty much the same except the hood, the fenders, the front bumper, and of course the rear bumper. Just talked to the owner of this 968, and like I've learned in Thailand, a lot of these cars are modified or they're replicas. Club Sport 968 is extremely rare, and he said that he's pieced it together and made it into a replica. There are so many 911 variants here today. Look at all this stuff that's gathered here. We've got the old, we've got the new, and people are still coming in. We've got another yellow 911 rolling in. This show just keeps going and going. There are so many people here with ridiculous fancy photo rigs, recording things, shooting things. Definitely a huge turnout. Lots of Porsches. I was surprised to see this many because they're quite expensive here in Thailand, as they are everywhere else. And don't forget, you cannot import used cars into Thailand. So whatever vintage Porsches are here, that is it. They can't bring in any more, so the prices just keep going up. The Porsche 928 is another icon. This car was made in the late 1970s and continued on into the early 90s. This is one of the later models, the Porsche 928 GTS, and it's just a really, really cool looking car. If you ever saw the movie Risky Business, then you've seen this car before. But the design of it is very, very elegant. It's very much a GT car. It's meant more for top speed, freeway cruising, etc., more than really, really twisty roads. Over here, we've got a Porsche 911S. Definitely one of the coolest cars Porsche ever made. This is most likely a late 60s, like a 69 or a 70 911S. It's got the Porsche Fuchs wheels on it, and it looks to be all original, all stock. If I had choice of any cars in the world for my stable, this would absolutely be one of the cars that I would put into my garage. Looks like I'm not the only person here today making videos. We've got Rob from Project Bangkok, and of course, there is Chad from CB Media. Well guys, that's gonna do it. Check out some of these other videos I'm gonna throw up here. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon in another one of my videos. Bye.